Hello and welcome to this episode of Love and Relationships, and this is specifically for the sign of Aries. Now this works if you have your sun, moon, or ascendant, or even Venus or Mars in the sign of Aries. Now what I'm going to be talking about in this episode is how do Aries love? How do they show love? How are they in relationships? How can you tell if your Aries is over you or your Aries is madly in love with you? So we're gonna figure that out. Alrighty, so check it out. Alrighty, so what are some traits of the Aries sign? Now, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, which means that they are the leaders. They love to be number one. They love to be the winners. And because of this, they have a sense of like a streak of challenge, a streak of competition, a streak of debate. They have no time for slowpokes. They have no time for people who are shy. They want people who are leaders. They want people who are not afraid to take action because the planet Mars is their original ruler. Now Mars is the warrior, is that energy that propels you into your dreams. It's the energy of determination. So you're not going to sit around and wait for things to come to you, but you go and get them. You go and snatch them. You say, oh, that's the guy, that's the girl. They're going to be mine. I'm getting them. So Aries in their relationships, they also have this energy because in their personalities, they are leaders. They don't like to follow anybody or no one. Therefore, they're very, very, very independent. Because of this, they could have a little bit of extreme qualities, like they either love you or they don't want anything to do with you. But they're not middle of anything. And they're very much about honesty. Like they'll put everything out in the table and be like, here are my cards. Here's what you're dealing with. This is it. So they don't really like to hide anything, and they just like being straightforward with you because they don't want later for you to be like, well, you never told me this. No, they want, no, I told you. I told you that I was seeing other people. I told you that I was dating. I told you that they're very straightforward with you. So you need to be straightforward with an Aries, okay? Being wishy-washy, not good. Being manipulative, no. You are getting into a sort of battlefield where, believe me, you do not want to get into some sort of challenge with a Aries, okay? It takes a lot of wit. It takes a lot of mental skill, and it takes a lot of intelligence, okay, to outdo an Aries. And it has to be, he has to, you know, the person who's trying to challenge an Aries is almost like we're not here to challenge each other. Because if for 1 second there's an energy of competition, they are not going to stop until you quit, okay, until you give up. So, for example, if you get into some sort of argument with an Aries, you need to be very smart and remind them that you're not the enemy, that you're here to learn something, that we have in our mind open to a situation. And this cools them down and makes them realize, okay, yes, this is just a debate. There's nothing to get upset about. Now, other qualities of the Aryan energy is he could be a little bit insensitive because it's very much about, you know, me, let's go and let's go get it. It's about action. He could be a little bit impulsive, competitive. There's an extrovertness about him. He or her, they're very much about energy, okay? They don't like to wait for nobody. They don't like to be sitting around waiting for nothing, okay? People can wait for them, and that's fine, you know? They can take their sweet time getting themselves ready, but when they're waiting for somebody, that's not going to happen. So with the energy of the Aries, you know, there's a very strong proudness of them. They're very proud, and because of this, you know, they need to really deal with very flexible people, okay? Because they're very strong-willed, and because of this, they need somebody who can just bend to what and accommodate to them more than anything. If not, then it presents a challenge, and remember, you start getting into a challenge with an Aries, we're not going to get anywhere here. So, now, when you have a relationship with an Aries, they for sure are going to give you a very beautiful, finely tuned, balanced, exciting, and offbeat relationship, okay? Because they are very complex. They're very demanding, okay? They're always leaders. Even the girls in relationships, they're the leaders, of the relationship, because they're very demanding. They do not want you to give, 50% to them. They want the 100%. They want it all. And they will test you, okay? Because they themselves, they work very well with challenges. They need a challenge. This is another reason why Aries men do not like girls who are easy. They don't like that energy. They don't like it when they need to have a little bit of challenge. Okay? That's what excites them. The moment of the hunt, the moment of the chase. And I'm not saying like, chasing them, like calling them constantly, but just don't throw yourself out in Aries. Let him lure you, until the point where like you can't take it, and then okay, then it happens. But the Aries needs to have a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of like, let me work for it. Let me work for it. Let me know that you're valuable. Okay, that's what it's all about. They need to know that if you're valuable, you're not just gonna give yourself away that easy. They want to fight for the most valuable, for the top, for the best, for the hottest girl, for the hottest man. That's the one, the alpha. They want the alpha energy, the alpha of the group in the girls, the alpha in the group of the guys. That's what they go for. So they need to have that little bit of like challenge and debate, and especially mental debate, especially intellectual debate, because Aries is the natural lawyer. They're very good at debating. They're very good at defending. So when they meet somebody that can match them, they actually get turned on. They actually love this. They actually love that somebody can stand up to them, and that they have their own leadership, that they have their own independence. They immediately respect you, they immediately give you credit, and they immediately like you. But if you're wishy-washy, manipulative, a follower, shy, that's not going to work. Now, the way that an Aries shows that he or she is giving you, okay? Because this is a misconception. A lot of people are like, oh, but Aries are selfish. No, they're not selfish. They're not selfish. They're just so about their identity. They're so about their individual nature, and they're so about self-love that they're not going to be chasing nobody or nothing. They're not going to be like, waiting around for somebody, or waiting to see if they're gonna get accepted with a person or not. Like they're not gonna deal with that. But when they do give, they do it in a very conscious way, where they're like, I'm giving you, okay? I don't do this for nobody, and I'm doing it for you because I like you. I actually like you. I actually have something for you. And the way that they show their giving is when they're overly involved with people and their projects. Okay, so if you see your Aries being overly involved in a situation with you, and helping you out with some sort of project, and being right there next to you, and helping you, figure out your idea, helping you leadership your own idea, your own project, this is when you know that the Aries is consciously giving you, okay? And you better recognize. You better recognize that the Aries is giving you, because Aries do not like to feel later that you're going to be like, well, you never do anything for me. They're never going to forgive that, okay? This is out of their comfort zone, okay? To go and be involved in the projects of somebody else, or overly involved in people, it's not their cup of tea, okay? They're very much about like, I don't need nobody, I don't need nothing, I don't need to be chasing nobody, I don't need nothing for nobody, for nothing. They're very independent. And because of this, when they actually show that, here, I'm gonna actually take my existence and help you out with your stuff, means a lot. So whoever's in the other side receiving the situation, you really need to acknowledge the Aries, and you need to, love them, give them some praise, give them some loving, show the appreciation at that moment, because Aries really, really works through this. If you work an Aries through love, they are very receptive, but not through demanding, not through telling them what to do, not through taking away their identity, not through taking away their independence. You're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to get into a huge fight with them. Now, other things about them. So remember, you gotta reciprocate that feeling to them at that moment. Now, when the Aries becomes overly independent or separate in identity, that's when you know that they're starting to kind of escape intimacy. Okay, so from all Aries out there, this is something important. Do not let this happen to you. Okay, don't become overly independent and separate in identity, because it's going to stop you from what you really really want. Okay, Aries have a very strong sex drive, very very strong sex drive. Mars rules the sex drive in a person, and they're ruled by Mars. So these people, they're, they have a high libido and they're very sexual. However, it's more deeper than that, okay? The intimacy of really being with somebody, of really fusing with somebody that you truly love, with somebody that you truly want to know their weaknesses and show your vulnerabilities and show your weaknesses and kind of empower each other into a deeper way. This is something that the Aries truly, truly is looking for. But they are always in a conflict of like, oh my God, am I going to lose my independence if I become independent? Like, if I get into this intimacy, if I get into this relationship, am I going to lose my independence? So be careful, Aries. Don't have your foot out and another one in. Like, fully go into it. Don't become overly independent. You're always going to be you. But this is the challenge of balancing the situation out. That's why you need to have the energy of your opposite, Libra, which is balancing the situation, balancing the two people that are involved in some sort of relationship. So where we're both having our own independency and our own identity, but we're not fusing into one person. So work a little bit on your energy of Libra so you can balance these things out, okay? Because deep down inside you do want an intimacy, a deep intimacy, but do not escape it by separating yourself through identity or separating yourself by being overly independent. Now, the way this is really funny. Oh, actually, Aries really needs a leader as well for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, okay? They want you to have your own independence, to have your own ideas, to have your own initiative, to have your own leadership. And like I said, they're very demanding because they will test this from you. They will test, like, if you said, oh, I really want to, start a workout routine. They're going to demand, like, okay, didn't you say you wanted to start this workout routine? Are you taking the initiative? Are you really doing it? They love seeing this. They love seeing a person that is a leader of their life, that it's a leader of themselves, that it's a leader of their own self-love. This is something that they can truly respect, and this is when they feel like I can really be with this person. Like, this person can really be my partner for life. Now, another way that Aries shows they care. How do you know when Aries cares? When they argue with you, baby. When they give you that challenge, when they give you that debate. If you have an argument with an Aries, but I'm not talking about like a toxic argument. I'm talking about like a debate. Like we're having a little bit of a sparring of ideas going on, and Aries love to spar about strategy of like how are we going to be doing this. Strategy, also details of something, and the philosophy of love and life. These are the things that they love to talk about, that they love to debate on, that they love to kind of argue about. So if you have your boyfriend or your girlfriend Aries that it's always picking on the details about you, always picking on the little strategies, like you think you do something and then they come and pick at it, don't take it bad. Don't take it as like, oh my God, leave me alone, you never like any. No. Take it as like, oh my God, they care. They're showing me that they care right now. This argument is that they care. Because they want to feel stimulated in their mind. They're really actually very intellectual, Aries. Aries love somebody who's very smart and who can open their mind. They really do. Because Aries naturally, they don't talk that much. They're like the silent leader, that leads by example. Nobody kind of hears them, and they're just kind of quiet. They have like a very strong energy about them. It could be a little bit intimidating, but they don't talk that much. And the reason why is because when they talk, they want to debate. And they don't want to talk about nonsense. They don't want to talk about things that are not going to get anywhere. They want to talk about something that is going to open their minds. And they're willing to do it, but you need to be witty and you need to be flexible and you need to be good with your words and in your debating energy. So that's why they like the smartness, to really get to them. And once they make sense to them, Aries never go back. Once something clicks in their head, they never go back to the thing that it was before. Now, lack of interest or absent-mindedness can really, really start telling you, like, that's a red flag with an Aries. If they start becoming absent-mindedness and they start becoming, you kind of see like a lack of interest in them, they're already kind of saying, next. So be careful with that, okay? If your Aries starts to do those things, um, he or she's starting to get bored, and you don't want to bored Aries. They can move on very fast. They also need to feel when they were young. Aries, when they're young, they're very dominating in their relationships. There's like a dominance that they have. Even the girls, they have a little bit of a masculine energy. They're like one of the boys. They're like, it's that energy of like being one of the boys, like really having the ability to not being so prissy and being extreme, but at the same time, Aries girls, they love to dress up and they dress very bold and to like make a statement. So I'm not saying that girls are butchy, I'm not saying any of that, but I'm saying that the girls can be one of the boys, that the girls would love to get down and dirty and have this masculine energy. They like to do sports, they like to sweat, they like to be active. So this dominance is something that really is accentuated in their life, and it's because it's the need. The reason why they dominate is because deep down inside they have this huge need for proof of love from others, yet they won't ask for it or give it. So it's a little tricky, okay? Aries is not going to be the one, clinging in and like, oh, like I love you. No, they're not going to be like that. But they do want that. They want affection. They want proof of love from their mate, but they're never going to ask for it, and they're not going to be kind of giving it to you so you can give them back to them. So for any person who's dealing with an Aries out there, you just need to go for it. You just need to go, and you just need to do it, and you just need to grab them, and you need to love them, and you need to show the affection. Don't wait around to see them. Remember, the Aries loves that you have your own initiative. So if you're showing the own initiative of like, oh baby, I just want to love you, I just want to hold you, I want to kiss you, I want to show you that I love you, they can really appreciate this. They can really appreciate that you're just stepping out of your comfort zone because this is what you want, not what Aries wants. They really like that. They want an assertive partner that demands respect and equal rights. Okay? They love that. A person who's assertive partner who demands respect and demands equal rights, they can definitely respect this. Mentally sparked to be turned on. That's what they really like. That's why the intellectual and the debate and the argument at the end of the day could be something that is actually turning them on. Okay? So don't be afraid. That's why shy people don't work well with Aries. They need people who are like, all right, let's go for the challenge, and kind of be flexible too, because they're the leaders nonetheless. Another super huge important thing for Aries is space and freedom and independence, and the ability to have change and to experiment, and the ability to have new challenges come to them. Okay, they love new beginnings, new challenges. Like Aries can have like a new beginning all the time. They love that, the clean slate feeling. So you need to, as a person who's dealing with an Aries, you need to give them their space, you need to give them their freedom, you need to give them their space for them to experiment and make changes of themselves and the world. If not, if they start feeling oppressed, if they start feeling like they can't do things, they will burst out. And it could come out through anger. And you don't want to see an angry Aries. No, you don't. You don't want to see that. Now, when they're excited with you and you feel like they're excited, this equals loyalty. Like if you can get an Aries excited, they will definitely be more loyal to you. And like I said, Aries naturally are people that are very honest. They don't like the whole hiding thing. They don't like any of that. They're honorable. There's like an honor about them. They're the honorable warrior. They're not the backstabbing, sleazy guy. No. They're the honorable warrior that says it up front, here I am, this is my skills, and if I can't make it, I didn't make it. That's how they are. So they are always going to tell you where you are. Like they're always going to say, hey, listen, you're the only girl I'm talking to, or hey, listen, I'm still dating around. They're always going to tell you, because later on they're always going to be the ones telling you, I told you that. I told you I wasn't truly with you. I told you were going to be my girlfriend. Like they're very clear with where their loyalty is going to be. And if you can get them excited, if you can get that adrenaline in them, ooh, you can get their loyalty real fast. That's what they really like. And, I'm going to be making a video for the sexuality only, but there is a lot of sexuality that gets meshed with love with Aries for sure. They really it's where they show their leadership, is where they show their dominance, is where they show their endurance, their strength, is through sexuality. And they can go from really fast hard to very gentle soft because they're so extreme. But deep down inside, what they need to work on, the dreams of what they really need to be working on, is that emotional connection when they're having sex. And this is really going to heighten their sexuality and their love for the person at the same time, and of course the relationship. Now, least but the last thing here is, so what's really important is that the Aries needs to really find out this balance between the independent self and the shared self. When is it good to compromise? When is it not good to compromise? These are the most important things. So for that, always kind of look a little bit more into Libra, into the diplomacy of Libra, the balance of Libra, the fairness of Libra. Here you're going to be able to really own that other part of you, to really be a well-rounded Aries. But nonetheless, they're very passionate. They can love very hard. They really give their hearts to people. They really do. They don't like to be faint-hearted. They're not, liars. Once they are there with you and they're excited and they're giving you your attention and they're really there for you, they truly are fully involved, and they can be very passionate and romantic. And very exciting lovers. So this is something definitely good. Alrighty, well, I hope this was of help to you. I hope that you guys like it. I'm going to keep doing a series on love and relationships, and later on we're going to get involved into the sexuality and a lot more other things that Aries could be having. Thank you so much for the comments, for the likes. Thank you so much for all the beautiful shares that you also give me, and thank you so much for having this open heart to this message. I hope this was of help to you. Now, remember how to treat your Aries. Remember how to love and how to be loved as an Aries. And I will be seeing you for the next episode. See you guys!